Imagine the Gobi Desert. The sun beats down, the sand stretches for miles. Few things can live in this harsh land. But some stories say a creature does. A creature of immense terror. It is said to hide beneath the scorching sands, waiting. Locals fear its very name. They say it brings death, swift and certain death. This feared beast is known as the Mongolian Death Worm. In the local language it is called Olgoi-Khorkhoi. This translates to intestine worm. The name comes from its supposed appearance. It looks like a segment of an animal's intestine, but it is far more deadly than its name suggests. The stories paint a picture of a truly horrifying animal, one that can kill without even touching its prey. Its reputation is fearsome. The Gobi Desert is one of Earth's last wild places. Could such a creature truly exist there, hidden from science? The local people believe it does, a crimson terror lurking beneath their feet. The stories of the Olgoi-Khorkhoi are ancient. They have been passed down, from parent to child, for countless generations. Nomadic tribes have roamed the Gobi for centuries. They know the desert, they know its secrets, and they know its dangers. The death worm is one of those dangers. A story whispered around campfires, a warning to those who venture too far, or who dig in the wrong places. These are not just casual tales, they are deeply embedded in Mongolian folklore. The worm is more than an animal. It is a symbol of the desert's deadly power. It represents the unknown. The belief in its existence is strong. It is woven into the cultural fabric of the region. To dismiss it lightly is to dismiss the wisdom of elders. The origins of the myth are hard to trace precisely. The stories likely began with real encounters, perhaps with known desert animals. The whispers from the sands continue. What does this legendary worm look like? Eyewitness accounts, though rare, paint a chilling picture. The Olgoi-Khorkhoi is said to be thick, like a man's arm, or a large sausage. Its color is consistently reported as dark red, the color of blood, or raw liver. This vivid description makes it stand out against the pale sands of the Gobi. Its length varies in the tales. Some say it is about 2 feet long, others claim it can reach up to 5 feet or even more. It is described as having no discernible head or tail, or perhaps its ends are so similar they are indistinguishable. Some accounts mention spikes, protruding from both ends of its body. What purpose these spikes serve is unknown, perhaps for movement, or for defense. The most terrifying aspects are its alleged attack methods. It is said to be able to spray a yellow, acidic venom. This venom is incredibly corrosive. It can supposedly burn through clothing and flesh. The people of the Gobi have many stories of encounters with the Olgoi-Khorkhoi. These are not just myths. For them, they are warnings, based on perceived experiences. Herders tell of livestock found dead, with no obvious cause, no bite marks, no signs of a struggle, just dead. Near areas where the worm is said to live, the blame often falls on the unseen worm, the silent killer from beneath the sand. There are even tales of human fatalities, people who ventured into forbidden areas, or who disturbed the ground during the hottest months. June and July are said to be its most active period, when the sun is at its fiercest. The worm is said to be attracted to the color yellow, especially the yellow goyo plant, a parasitic plant that grows in the Gobi. People are warned to avoid these plants, and to avoid wearing yellow, lest they attract the worm's attention. The lack of a clear attacker often leads to one conclusion: it must have been the Olgoi-Khorkhoi. Section 5, The First Western Accounts. Roy Chapman Andrews hears the tales. The legend of the Mongolian Death Worm remained largely unknown outside of Mongolia until the early 20th century. Then a famous American explorer arrived. His name was Roy Chapman Andrews. He was a paleontologist, a real-life Indiana Jones. He led several expeditions to the Gobi Desert in the 1920s. He was searching for dinosaur fossils, and he found many. During his time in Mongolia, Andrews interacted with local officials and with the people of the Gobi. In his 1926 book, On the Trail of Ancient Man, he mentioned the worm. He wrote that Mongolian premier Damdin Bazar described it. The premier spoke of a creature called Olgoi-Khorkhoi. He said it was about 2 feet long, shaped like a sausage, with no head or legs, and so poisonous that merely to touch it meant instant death. Andrews was a scientist. He was naturally skeptical. He had not seen the creature himself, and he knew that fantastic stories often arise about unknown animals in remote places. He did not actively search for the worm. His focus was on dinosaurs. Section 6. Modern Expeditions, the Hunt for Physical Proof. Roy Chapman Andrews may have been skeptical, but his report planted a seed of curiosity. In the decades that followed, others became fascinated by the idea of a deadly worm lurking in the Gobi sands. Cryptozoologists, adventurers, they wanted to find out more. Was this creature real or just a figment of folklore? Several expeditions were launched specifically to search for the Mongolian Death Worm. One of the most notable investigators was Ivan McCurley, a Czech explorer and author. He led multiple expeditions to the Gobi starting in the 1990s. McCurley was serious about his quest. He interviewed countless locals, collected their stories, and tried to pinpoint areas of alleged sightings. He used various methods to try and find the worm. He set traps. He even used small explosives, hoping to drive the creature out of the ground if it existed. Despite these efforts, despite the dedication, no conclusive physical evidence was ever found. The worm remained elusive. Section 7. The Scientist's Gaze, Scrutiny and Skepticism. Mainstream science views the Mongolian death worm with considerable skepticism, and for good reasons. The primary reason is the complete lack of physical evidence. Science relies on verifiable proof, specimens, clear photographs, DNA samples. For the Olgoi-Khorkhoi, none of these exist. There are only stories, anecdotes, and folklore. While interesting, these are not scientific data. They cannot confirm a species. Biologists also question the creature's reported abilities. A worm that spits corrosive acid, that generates a lethal electrical charge? These traits are highly improbable from a biological standpoint. While some animals produce venom and some fish generate electricity, the combination described for the death worm seems fantastical. How would such a creature evolve these mechanisms? Section 8. Could it be real? Exploring possible identities. If the Mongolian death worm is not exactly as described, could the legends be based on a real but less fantastical animal? This is a common theory. Misidentification is a frequent explanation for cryptid sightings. Perhaps people saw a known creature, and fear or poor visibility transformed it into something more monstrous. The Gobi Desert is home to several types of snakes, including sand boas and certain vipers. Could a large snake be the culprit? Some snakes can be aggressive, some are venomous. A sudden encounter with a large angry snake in the remote desert could certainly be terrifying. It might lead to exaggerated stories. Over time, these stories could evolve. The snake might become a worm, its venom might become acid, its defensive strike might be interpreted as electricity. This is one possibility, a plausible naturalistic explanation. Another candidate often suggested is a type of amphisbaenian or worm lizard. Section 9. The Enduring Mystery Beneath the Desert Sun. So, what is the Mongolian death worm? Is it a real creature, a flesh-and-blood animal with terrifying abilities hidden in the sands of the Gobi? Or is it a product of human imagination, a legend born from fear and the harshness of the desert environment? The answer, for now, remains elusive. The mystery endures. It continues to capture the imagination of adventurers, cryptozoologists, and the curious. The Gobi Desert guards its secrets well. It is a place of stark beauty and potential danger. For centuries, nomads have lived there. They have passed down stories of the Olgoi-Khorkhoi. These tales are a part of their heritage, a warning, a testament to the unknown. Whether the worm is biologically real or not, it is culturally real. It exists in the minds and traditions of the people, and that gives it a certain power. Science demands proof, and so far no proof has been found, no body, no photograph, no undisputed evidence. Expeditions have searched, researchers have pondered, but the worm remains a phantom, a creature of story and speculation. This lack of evidence leads most scientists to skepticism.